As you all know so well, NXT Gen Cup is the first and only electric junior cup championship, and both drivers next to me are racing in it this weekend. However, it's also very far from what they do normally at this track. It's 24-hour and endurance racing. Misha, I'm going to start with you. You can pass over the microphone. Misha, tell us a bit about the differences between what you do normally here, endurance racing in a BMW M4 GT4, and the NXT Gen Cup.
Yeah, of course. I mean, well, first of all, is as I mentioned, we race endurance championships, so we race either 4, 6, 12, or 24 hours, and here we race about 15 minutes roughly. So here, a lot of the outcome of the race is decided in the first lap and the last lap. And in endurance racing, you are kind of like you take it easy the first half a race, and then you start pushing at least. Of course, you need to be consistent, but that's one thing. The other thing is, of course, the car, as you mentioned, M4 GT4 with SPAT class is running around 530 horsepower at 1400 kilograms. So the power to weight ratio is definitely different. We have also more aero, we have many more driver aids, so ABS, traction control. We're on also on full slicks, so completely different thing. There we have to focus on traffic management because we have a lot of traffic, also slower traffic, and also the Nordschleife itself is a completely different track. Whereas here you're on GP tracks, you have all equal opponents, no driver aids. You need to be very gentle with your driver inputs. So slow feet, fast hands, I would say. And yeah, completely different racing series, completely different challenges. But at the end of the day, all the components are there. It's tough battles, and you need to be the best.
All right, I'll pass the microphone over to you, Patricija. Also very well known. You drove in the women's only car, I think it was here, during the 24-hour race. It's beautiful weather now. However, this track can hunt you with weather. Tell us a bit more about how it is differently to drive on the long track compared to here when it's wet.
Yeah, Misha pretty much said it all. So we're driving the girls only team in the same class as Misha did, only we went sustainable fuels now, but also 530 horsepower, same car. It is very different to adjust only by that. Also the tires, as you already mentioned, we drive on intermediates here, so no tire gambling or whatever, which again is different on the Nordschleife. If you race on the Nordschleife, you can have dry track and snowing track on the other part of it, and here, you don't have that. I think it's a good thing for the Cup because there's a lot of difficulty, as you already mentioned. There's no ABS, there's no support. It's quite difficult actually to really get the peak out of the car because the margin for error is much lower than in a more technical car. However, with the tires, it comes a bit for the driver because at least there you cannot do much wrong. You just have to make the best of the weather conditions that you're given.
What would you say? Do you prefer endurance racing or sprint racing?
I do like driving by myself because then I can only blame myself, and it's very, very nice. Like today, I always look at what I could have done different. In endurance, there just comes so many more factors and it gets more complicated. I really love both, and it's so different that I don't think I have to choose.
What's the thing for you, Misha, that you like so much about endurance racing?
I think it's the duration. Yeah, and then like you said, it's endurance. You really need to push yourself also as a driver. You need to be in a top shape because when you're doing like a stint of 1.5 hours or a double stint in 24 hours, when you drive almost for 3 hours, of course we have air conditioning in the car, but still you have also higher G-forces that you get thrown around. So there's a lot of physical preparations, but also mental preparations involved. So it's more demanding. It's also a completely different strategy because here you need to push, rubbing is racing, but a small mistake in endurance racing can cost you a lot. You need to be much more gentle with the car, avoid certain curbs, be gentle with throttle applications because to finish first, you have to finish first. And it's very different in both categories because in endurance racing, you need to be very gentle with the material, whereas here you should also take risks because you have very small time to actually put yourself ahead of everyone else. It needs to be a very calculated risk, so to say. So here I would say it's a much more mental thing probably than a physical. Of course the driver game as well, but you need to be really aware because especially the first 3 corners or the first lap, but the first 3 corners are the first lap, you are with 17 cars going for that T1 and after that T2 all together. And if you're in the midfield, you try to overtake person in front of you while someone behind you is doing it. And as mentioned, in the first lap, you need to position yourself to the top 5 and then continue fighting with the top 5 for the podium. Whereas with endurance racing, always the goal is the first 2 stints or like the first half of the race, just be there. Be there somewhere and then you will catch up. Because there's also so much traffic management as well that your competitors might be unlucky with code 60s with other traffic, so you just need to survive and then push.
All right, I'm going to shoot both of you one final question. I'll stay at you, Misha. You're driving the Mila car this weekend. Mila is an official partner of the NXT Gen Cup and also sponsor for Patricija. How does it feel, and what's your opinion on driving that car?
It's epic. I mean, it was quite easy to get used to. It's amazing. I mean, already in free practice, I was somewhere midfield. Unfortunately, due to a small contact in qualifying on lap 2, I couldn't do decent times for my racing as well for the positions. But even after that, at race 1, we managed to do quite some impressive overtakings in the first lap. After that, I had a little spin, so I had to catch up. So the car is great. Now it's up to the driver to make up the rest of it.
I think as you would say, you did it for the content.
Exactly. Important thing I need to mention is during my race, I had my camera, my microphone running, and I was commentating what was happening while I was racing. So I was using 80% of my brain probably to drive, another 20% of trying to be excited on the camera. So yeah, because I know I'm not gonna win. Even the podium is a very tough challenge because there are all the talented drivers here who have lots of experience. So I'm just here to have great fun, learn things, and also indeed put great content for my people to make it for them exciting to watch, not only me, but also the series. And actually, when we announced my participation this weekend, I received quite some messages from other parents who said that they joined this year because of my video from last year. So hopefully next year, well, we're gonna repeat it this year, that we're gonna show even from a different perspective how awesome this series is. And maybe I get to come back again.
Who knows?
And get to compete with other drivers who again joined, and yeah, we're gonna have more fun.
We would love to have you back. Patricija, for you, don't you sometimes get a little jealous when you see other drivers drive the Mila car?
Absolutely. I've never gotten lucky enough to have Mila and Mila because we have Mila as a serious sponsor and I have Mila on my door. So you have my car, but I think it will look good since I'm forced to start from the back as well. I'll come flying from behind and I'll pull you. So the podium, you know, I'll finish P3, maybe P2, and you right behind me. We can do this, and then it will be a nice shot of Mila and Mila.
You know what they say, right? Don't hit your teammates. Is he kind of a teammate in the Mila car?
He's kind of my teammate, so we have to work together now.
All right. Thank you very much, guys, for the interview. And good luck.
Thank you.